welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley, and do you think I need another laser? If you answered no, you are absolutely correct. I absolutely do not need another laser. I already have like 6 in my craft room. However, have you seen the new advertisements for a new machine from WeCreat? Look, I have seen them and I am interested. So when the people over at WeCreat reached out to me and said that they wanted to send me a new machine to test out, I said, heck yes. Why? Because I want to know what this is all about. So today what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it. That's right. I have one here in the craft room right now. We are going to unbox this machine and I'm going to show you all the really cool features that it has. And spoiler alert, I'm actually kind of impressed with it. It's actually really cool. All right, y'all, are you ready to get to the unboxing? Let's go. When you get your machine out of the box, it's going to be covered in a bunch of styrofoam. You're going to want to keep this. It's really important just in case you want to move this machine, sell this machine, or send it back over to WeCreat if there is anything wrong with it. Also at the very top, you're going to notice that there's 2 grates. Keep those. That's essential from using your machine. Then you're going to see that there is going to be 2 pieces of wood. Keep those because one's your starter material and another piece is some wood just in case you have to calibrate your machine. Although this machine is not very heavy, it is kind of long. So I definitely suggest doing a 2-man lift, and do not throw that piece of styrofoam down on the ground because there's something at the bottom of that you are going to need. Along with the grates at the very top of the styrofoam, at the very bottom of the styrofoam is your crumb tray. This is what you're going to slide into your machine, making sure that you don't damage your table or anything like that. There's going to be a pin on either side of your lid. I would suggest keeping them and just putting them back into the box just in case you end up needing to move this machine. That right there is actually pretty important. Inside the machine, you're going to see that I have 2 pieces of tester material. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this is for every single machine, but my particular machine had 2 pieces of material. It looks like they've already tested the machine to make sure that it actually works. Inside the boxes, those are some important things. One's going to be your air assist. This will plug in together here in a second. There's also going to be another box for tools, cables, and spare parts. Those are really important. The next box is going to be your vent hose. You are going to need to vent out of the window. I'm going to set that up with you here in a second. And there's also going to be a rotary kit and a power adapter. Now, when you take out that last piece of foam, you will see that there is going to be a couple red stickers. There is going to be these screws that you're going to need to take out. The screws are there for shipping. Once it's already been shipped to you, now all you have to do is take them out and peel off those stickers. Remember that little toolbox that we had? Open that up and you're going to find these like little plugs. You're going to want to plug up the sides of your machine. That just makes sure that none of the smoke that you get when you are cutting your material seeps out of your material. I can tell you that putting these plugs in, you have to be pretty gentle with it because they are really small and that hole is also really small. At the back of the machine, what we're going to do is insert the air filter. So there is this little bracket thing that you're going to want to need to put on. First, what you need to do is take out those little nuts that are on the stems, then put in the frame and then put the nuts back on, making it nice and tight. Then what you can do is just slip off that little collar and put on the air filter and make that tight. Whenever you are using a laser, you always want to use a window to vent out of, or you could also purchase an external filter too if you don't have a window. Next, what we want to install is the air assist fan. The air assist fan assists with pulling smoke away from your laser cuts so you don't have any bad cuts or engravings. This right here is fairly easy to install. There's 2 little pieces and you just have to plug them into the back of your machine and that's it. Now what you want to insert is the power cable and the USB cable. Now the USB cable isn't something that you have to forever have on this machine. You can set this machine up via Wi-Fi. However, USB cable for your computer is always the fastest for connection purposes. So I always keep it on my computer just because I don't want to have to do anything via Wi-Fi. Make sure and take that plastic off the very top of your lid. Now we've gotten to the point where we have to scan the QR code and download the software for the WeCreat Laser. So let's go over to the computer and we can set all this up there. I scanned the QR code and it brought me to this web page, and this is where I'm going to find the software that is needed for my particular computer. After downloading the program and letting it open up onto my computer, you are going to get this screen that says Start the Beginner Guide. Look, I am no beginner when it comes to a laser, so I'm going to press exit. However, if you've never owned a laser before, just do the guide. I'm not going to do the guide with you today. Now what I'm going to do is go up to the very top where it says Canvas and just click that. You also could have just pressed that Start New Project button as well. All right, now what we need to do is just turn on the machine, and the machine will automatically connect to the program. At that point, if there is any type of setup that needs to happen, like registering your new machine, you're going to want to do that now. And I missed a step. What we need to do is insert the crumb tray, and then also those great grill looking things. You want to put that also into your machine if you're going to be cutting. I'm going to be cutting some wood just to test this out, so I'm going to put my grates inside that crumb tray. Using one of the pieces of wood that they provided me as starter material, I'm going to put it on the bottom left portion of my laser bed. Then I'm going to press the refresh button on my screen. This is going to take a live picture of what is inside my laser bed. Now you will notice that I'm going to toggle in between their PDF user manual and also the program. I love the fact that they give me step-by-step instructions on how to complete my first project. So their first project that they suggest I do is just insert a basic text. So all you need to do is press the text box, put your text box anywhere on your material. I'm not an original, so I'm just going to use my name. Then what they tell me to do is set it to engrave. So I'm going to go back over into the program and I'm going to press engrave. Now what I did was select the material that they provided me. When I do that, there will be settings that automatically get chosen for me. I'm just going to keep it that way because this is their material and their settings that they suggest for their material. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Now, technically what this is going to do, if I were to just leave it like this and go and press the start button, this would only engrave. And I don't want to just engrave on my wood. I also want to cut it all in one step. So what I'm going to do is build an offset. So I'm just going to build a little offset, making it whatever size that I really want to make it. Then I'm going to change that offset over to cut because I want to cut this. Now remember, because I've already selected the material that they have provided for me, there's already prerequisite settings that are loaded into the program, so I shouldn't have to change anything. We're going to test this out. So now all I need to do is press start. Before you do anything else, what you need to do is take that vent hose that we already hooked in and we need to shove it out a window, or if you're using an air filter, make sure the air filter is on. I only have my window, so I'm gonna put it in the window. Then what you're going to do is press that button that's at the front of the machine. Mine is currently blue because it's ready to go. Our first cut and engrave is finished, and here is the finished name cutout. I actually think that the machine did a really good job engraving and cutting without any issues. Now there's going to be some flashback on the back of my piece of wood. If you did not like the flashback, you can adjust your settings in the program. Or if you just wanted to knock off that flashback, you just take some sandpaper to the back of it and then you'll just be able to sand off the flashback. Now this machine has an HD camera and supposedly you can scan your own pictures and make your own cut and engrave files. So let's test this out. I'm going to insert a drawing that my son drew for me like a couple years ago. Pressing the refresh button on the program, you're going to see that the picture that they took of my son's drawing is amazing. I don't know if I've ever seen a better scan ever on any laser. So in order to get the particular engraving that I want, all I'm going to do is press import, and then I'm going to draw a box around just that little best mom emblem that my son drew. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to be able to drag that little box away from the rest of the drawing. Then taking the drawing out of the bed, I'm going to insert that piece of wood that I have already cut out. Then I'm going to press refresh again on the program. Now what I want to do is edit this just a little bit more. So I am going to edit the photo, erasing the things that I don't want. I don't want to engrave that white box. I really just want to engrave the heart and then that best mom thing. Now again, technically this is going to be just an engraved file. So now what I want to do is build another offset just like I did with the name, doing the same steps. Now what I'm going to do is just change over the filters. There's actually quite a bit, so I just chose the one that I liked the best. When I'm done choosing my filter, then what I'm going to do is press start. Remember, the reason why I am not changing any of the settings is because they've already told me in the machine what settings are going to be best for this material. Now all we need to do is press that button at the front of the machine and let the machine do the engrave and also the cut. Now our second tester piece is done, and the quality of the cut and the engrave on this is actually pretty impressive. I actually really like the way that this cut and engrave. Now the third test is going to be how to do the rotary attachment and also move this head around. I've never seen anything like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out this green tumbler that I have just laying around in my craft room. There is some assembly required with the rotary attachment tool. Just follow the directions that they provide you because they're actually really easy to follow. If your machine is on, go ahead and turn it off. You need to make sure and turn the machine off before you move forward. Then what you want to do is take out the grate from your laser bed. You don't need to take the crumb tray out. You just want to take the grate out. Then following the directions of the user manual. Again, the user manual is very easy to follow. Now to move this laser head, which I have never done this before, ever. I've never seen this. So there's two screws that have like a spring on them. They're called spring screws. You're going to unscrew them. And then you're going to move the head from the upright position to the downward position. And then you're going to screw the spring screws back tight. And now your laser head just went from one axis to another axis, accommodating for the rotary feature. And this is why you don't need a riser base in order to do tumblers. I'm going to spare you the boringness of trying to engrave this particular tumbler. The reason for that is because this particular tumbler is actually really smooth. And because it's so smooth, it kept popping off of the rotary. And because it kept popping off, it was giving me a really terrible engraving. So I had to switch and use a different tumbler, one that wasn't so smooth that it would pop off the rotary. But the setup process to do the tumbler and the program is actually really easy. Kind of the same steps that we did with the name and also my son's engraving. All you do is just press refresh. You put in a couple measurements of your cup. You add in your image or your name, set it to engrave. Make sure you have chosen the correct settings for this machine, and then you just press start. It's seriously that easy. I got it. Look at that. Perfectly engraved. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take this out of the chuck. So I'm going to undo the chuck. This one right here, it did not slip at all. So we didn't have any issues with it slipping out. It was totally because the finish on this one right here is too smooth and it was just like sliding out of the things. I love when I just have a light bulb moment and then it works because I put this one on here and it is not smooth. You can see it's like naked, and look at this. I got an engraving on a tumbler. I do have to wash this. You have to take a magic eraser and take off all the soot, but that is an engraved tumbler. It's actually pretty centered too. I'm quite impressed. I did not try and center this at all. I just wanted to make sure that like it worked. And so obviously this was user error, and learn from my mistakes. Don't get the stuff that has like a glossy finish to it. This right here is really smooth. This one right here is naked, but the truck can like hold on to it versus the other one, it just kind of slips right off. So I'm so excited. Now here's the deal. When you are done using your rotary attachment, what you want to do is turn your machine completely off. And then you want to disassemble the rotary and everything else. So everything that I did to set it up, you're going to do it in reverse. The reason why you want to turn your machine off before you do anything else is because you will fry the motherboard in your laser. So whatever you do, make sure and turn it off before you unplug your rotary and move forward. Now clearly I have only done 3 projects, but so far I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I think the whole laser access going from like up and down to this way, that's neat. So for my first impressions, because I know that's probably what you're looking for, I'm actually pretty impressed. I've only done 3 projects, and the tumbler one, obviously I was having a little bit of problems with it. That is all user error, but the fact that I had a light bulb moment was like, oh, okay, let me try a different tumbler and see if that works, and then I ended up getting an engraving. That just means that the machine is good and I was having problems. Now there's 2 really cool things that I've noticed just right off the bat after playing around with it for a couple hours is, first, that the camera to the machine is right here in the lid. So when it takes a picture of your bed, most lasers will have a fishbowl lens because they're down here or up here. And what that happens is when they take a picture of your material, or if you're doing like a scan, like what I did with my son's writing, what's going to happen is you're going to have this really curved looking image. So the accuracy of your camera tends to not be as accurate. But because it's right here, it's taking a direct shot down, and so there's no fishbowl lens look, and everything is nice and flat. So like when we were doing my son's drawing, everything was like nice and flat. Had I used a different machine, I probably would have gotten like a picture that looked a little curved. The other thing, which I think is really cool, and I've never seen this before in any other laser, I didn't even know that this was possible, was taking that laser head and moving the axis from here to here, allowing it to do the rotary without using a riser base or taking the base out and like propping it up. I thought that was really cool. Again, I've never seen this in any other machine. So is that going to be what is going to be in other future machines? I'm not entirely sure, but I do think it's really cool because, like I said, I've never seen it before. I was reading a little bit about this machine as well, is that the head to your machine, you can switch it out to an infrared laser. So this is not only going to be a diode laser that would cut, you know, your woods and some acrylics, but it also, you can switch out the head to be an infrared laser, meaning then you'll be able to engrave all the metals. You would be able to engrave platinum, gold, silver, all the metals you'll be able to engrave with that infrared laser head module. So I think that's really cool too. All right, y'all, what is your opinion about this machine? Do you think that this is a buy, or do you think that you're just gonna pass? You let me know in the comments of this video. Also, is there something else you want me to create with this machine? You let me know, because I am here for you. I want to make sure that you have all the full knowledge of every single machine that you are interested in purchasing, because I definitely don't want you to get steered in the wrong direction. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.